It is easy to become numb to media bias these days, right? So the Ingraham Angle is keeping track of the worst offenders of the week. Joining me now is Adam Guillette, president of Accuracy in Media, and Alexandra Wilkes, GOP strategist and attorney. And both of them know what they're in for. We're gonna move fast here today. So panel, let's begin with CBS anchor Jane Pauley's totally embarrassing interview with Governor Andrew Cuomo. Listen to this.
You are a bachelor. You've got a nice house here, having a moment, and you can't do a thing with it. Is your social life in a phase 1 relationship, possibly? Is that an unfortunate set of circumstances?
Well, I think...
Because I know you're a bachelor. I know you've talked about being available.
Wow, I thought just last Friday they needed a cigarette after an interview, but they did it again this Friday. Adam, the man's policies got thousands of seniors killed, and she's fawning about his bachelor status. What do you make of that?
Yeah, as we've said, he is the grandma killer. It's great that the 60-year-old women love him because the 70-year-old women can't because they're dead. He mandated that the nursing homes take COVID-19 patients. Thousands of people died as a result. 40% of the deaths have been in nursing homes, and it was because of his terrible actions. Outrageous.
Remarkable that Jane Pauley, who's a professional, needed to do that. Now, Laura, listen to this. The Fawn Fest continued on CNN during the Cuomo brothers' latest sketch comedy routine. Listen to this.
I'm wowed by what you did, and more importantly, I'm wowed by how you did it. This was very hard. Obviously, I'll never be objective. Obviously, I think you're the best politician in the country.
Alexandra, I mean, it would be funny. I do find it funny because it's just so absurd, but it's also pathetic and disgusting. But this is a man who's got thousands of people killed. It seems to be irrelevant to them. What's your take on that?
I mean, of course, Chris Cuomo is not going to be objective when it comes to his brother, and that's precisely the problem here. It's okay for Andrew Cuomo to go on an opinion show and for the host to have an opinion about him. What's not okay is for CNN executives to not enforce journalistic standards, and having Andrew Cuomo go on programs of greater journalistic integrity to answer these tough questions that he owes all of us about the long-term care facilities and the rules that basically sentenced many people to their deaths during this pandemic.
You know, what's great about those two clips, too, by the way, is that at least with our conversation, people realize that it's not just what they're being presented with the mainstream media, but you can tell why people would get confused. And, approval ratings would be high when you're seeing interviews like that. It's certainly not about journalism at all. Now, listen to this. MSNBC's Chris Hayes tonight lamenting that Donald Trump won't surrender.
Donald Trump does not learn. He is not going to get good at this. He is not going to change. He has failed definitively. And it is an urgent matter of public health, of public safety at this moment for the president, Donald Trump, to resign.
Yeah, boy, that is his biggest crime, by the way, that he does not surrender to them. Adam, what are your thoughts?
Well, we always hear about voter suppression. The person who needs to resign because of voter suppression is that guy again, Andrew Cuomo. Imagine if a Republican governor had killed thousands of people in a key demo for the Democrats. Imagine he killed thousands of women's studies holding unemployed graduates, and they died. Everyone would be calling for his ouster. Well, Cuomo wiped out thousands of likely Republican voters. Thankfully, with the lax New York voter laws, the dead ones can still probably vote again this fall.
Yeah, and because we're so overwhelmed, Alexandra, with everything that's happened, with the virus, with the deaths of loved ones, with the decisions that seem to deliberately put people in harm's way. What is your take on it's almost like a Twilight Zone episode when you watch these questions, they're not even questions. It's fawning like dates on Tinder. What do you make of this with the seriousness that surrounds the issues?
Well, there's a complete double standard. These journalists are not holding governors like Phil Murphy, Tom Wolf, and Andrew Cuomo to account. Instead, they want to ask about Andrew Cuomo's love life because that feeds more into their narrative that the blue state governors had it all right, when in fact that was definitely not the case. And if you look to our red states, governors like DeSantis and Greg Abbott and DeWine in Ohio, these were the guys that had it under control and are still continuing to control the situation as the coronavirus cases spike down in the Southeast.
You know, let me ask you, Adam, because I think this is important, because we know that these are serious issues. There should be an investigation, as an example, on the nursing home catastrophe facilitated by Andrew Cuomo, as an example. Is the media, there's this presumption that the media and their handling of Cuomo would protect him from serious allegations or a serious investigation?
Well, it's exactly that. They're trying to do a sleight of hand where they gin up the outrage in one place and ignore what should be outrage in another place.
Right.
Think about all the mayors who should be resigning. They can't keep order in the streets. If you're in an expensive city like Seattle, why are you paying all of these taxes when you don't even have a police force protecting your business, protecting your property? What are you getting in return for those taxes?
Well, Adam, I want to thank both of you. Great perspective on all of this, and yet obviously very serious issues. We're going to continue to look at it, obviously. Adam and Alexandra, thank you.